Hello all, welcome to this video where today we will talk about corruption. Corruption, something which is always seen as a termite for any country, underdeveloped, developing or developed. Corruption is a word which is seen as ethically or legally as a wrong deed, is a major cause of worry for every nation and every country is making its attempt for its elimination. Let us first understand what actually is the dictionary definition of the word corruption, and then we will have an inside view to understand its effects. Corruption may include many activities including bribery and embezzlement. Government or political corruption occurs when an office holder or other governmental employee acts in an official capacity for personal gain. Let's now understand why this thing is a major cause of worry for every nation and the citizens of the country. Every government has a projected view of country's future, keeping in consideration the moral, ethical and financial situations. For achieving this very cause, all governments have set departments which act under set rules and regulations. Whenever, in any situation, a person from any side tries to uphold his own cause and sidelines, the procedures in place is said to have involved in corruption. Let us try understand this with the help of an example. In a hypothetical situation, if a government employee is required to provide a contract to the lowest bidder for any government work, or rather than going by the rule, he surpasses the protocol and provides the contract to a person who is not the lowest bidder in return of some personal favor as cash or gifts of any kind. In this situation, both the parties are said to have involved in corruption. Involvement of corruption of any sorts can have devastating effects on nation and its citizens. Delay in completion of work, creation or black money, no assurance of a best in class facility, some of the ill effects in corruption can cause. In trade of these kinds, citizens and nation can see worst kind of disturbance it can cause. To mention a few: human, weapon or drug trafficking, terrorism of any kind, unstable economy, bad infrastructure, and many more.
When votes aren't fairly won, but rather bought, this is corruption. When politicians don't make decisions to benefit the public, but rather themselves, this is corruption. Corruption by politicians or public officials is not just an envelope filled with money. These people make decisions that affect our lives. We know corruption is a problem around the world, but how bad is it, and what can be done? Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index measures the perceived levels of public sector corruption in countries worldwide. Based on expert opinion, countries are scored from 0 highly corrupt to 10 very clean. Some countries score well, but no country scores a perfect 10. The majority score poorly, indicating a serious corruption problem. If you look at the scores, some unsettling trends become clear. The highest levels of corruption are in countries plagued by conflict and poverty. Corruption doesn't just fuel such problems, it makes them very difficult to stop. But countries can and do improve. The Corruption Perceptions Index forces governments around the world to take notice of corruption. But recognizing the problem is only part of the solution. Transparency International helps citizens to demand accountability from their leaders, and we show governments what they can do to tackle corruption. Working together, we can make corruption a thing of the past.
We as nation of any country have to understand that we for our own future will have to say no to this demon of corruption. Any involvement of any kind from the citizens of any nation in any sort of corruption can create a chain that can lead to impact our own lives in a bad way. Let's raise our voices and get to the root of this trouble, finish it off right where it starts. Say no to corruption.